Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. Today we're going to do this card. It's made with the gorgeous Christmas Cuties stamp set, and I did one recently with the little angel, but this today we're going to be doing the elf. And we're going to be doing him with some trees in the background. So there's a few little technique-y bits on this, so I'm going to go through and show you those. Start by closing the camera down a bit, closing in a bit closer for the colouring. Last time I did aqua painting, but this time I'm just going to go ahead and colour in using markers. Now I have stamped this image in the new it's called Basic Grey ink from Stampin Up. It's an archival ink and works fantastically with painting. You can add water and it won't bleed once the ink is dry. And just to put some colour into his face, I'm using pink Pirouette ink and just an aqua painter for this little bit here, just to get a tiny bit of pink into his face, but not too much. So I've brought in the big shot now, and we're going to use this Woodland embossing folder. Absolutely gorgeous embossing folder. Because this is a 6x6 embossing folder, whoops, whack the camera. The advice is to pop it in seam first, the fold first, to protect the folder. Make sure you don't squish the edges of it. And as you can see, I've got some white trees. I want some brown trees. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and use a sponge and some early espresso ink and rub it over. Now I'm not worried here, I'm not trying to do this really lightly to avoid the background, because I'm actually going to cut out some of these trees to use on my project. That looks good to me. And I'm just going to choose what I'm using. This looks as if it would be a bit of a faff of a job to cut out, but it's actually not too difficult. You just follow round. I'm going to try and keep some of those little branches in. Okay, I've gone ahead and cut those branches out. I decided there weren't enough branches on this side of the tree, so I've cut a little extra one. So I'm just going to glue that with some Tombow onto the back. Let's pop a little bit of glue on there. And that will just give us a little branch on that side as well. And I'm taking some, this is Soft Sky, and I think this time I'm going to use, last time I used Soft Sky for the snowflakes, but they were really pale. I just wanted a little bit more notice of the snowflakes. So this time I'm using the Smoky Slate, a very pale grey, and that's just giving a little bit more definition to those snowflakes. That looks about right. We've got a piece of Whisper White here, and I'm going to tear to make some snow lines. One down at the bottom. And I'm going to put that one there. I'm just going to build up those snow lines. Before I actually stick those on, actually I'm going to do the trees first. So I've got these two together. Now the trees are longer, I think, than the piece of cardstock, so I can just trim those. I can just have those at the level I want and trim those off. Last time I had them in a little group of 3, so I'll go with that again. I'll have that one just, I think, just there, if its branch a bit lower. It's quite good because with having them a little bit longer, you can kind of fiddle how you want them to lay out. That's stuck more onto the grid paper than the card. I'm just going to trim those ends off. There we go. Now let's do our snow. A bit of glue on there. And again, we can just trim the edges off. Make sure that height is right. Bring that down a little bit. And by having those rough edges, it just really does give a nice snowy impression, and also gives a good place for the glue to cling to when you're adding your snow. Slide that over a little bit. And again, I'm just going to take my scissors and trim off any excess bits and pieces. There we go. Bring in my little Christmas elf, dancing through the snow. If you want to, you can use some edge pieces and just reinforce his arms and legs a little bit. You might want to do that with the dimensionals. Just going to do his arms there, and I'm going to put him to one side. I think just there. That looks good. The greeting I picked out for this one, I managed to get some glue on the front. Okay, the greeting I was going to put on there was it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, but I'm going to use Christmas blessings now because that's what I've got left, because I've just got glue on the other one. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit of pink on there. Let's do it to finish the project, and then I might have might pull that off and re-stamp my other piece. We've got a thick Whisper White card base here. Some Tombow to stick that on. And then finally we want a little bit of sparkle, so I'm going to use my fine tip glue, and I'm going to add sparkle to the snow line by putting some glue on, and then we're going to add some dazzling diamonds. And I'm going to put a little bit of dazzling diamonds just where the branches are, just to add a little bit more sparkle into the card. Let's bring in the dazzling diamonds. You can never have too much sparkle. And tip off the excess. I'll just wait for that to dry and rub over with a tissue to get the final bits of glitter off that are in the wrong places, but I think that looks good. There you go. Hope you've enjoyed your visit to Elizabeth's Craft Room today. I look forward to welcoming you back again soon.